Just minutes before the proceedings started for the day, the Nesbitt courthouse started rocking. I quickly turned on my TV camera and began recording. Assistant District Attorney Luba Bartnett-Skaya can be seen on the right side of the screen, ducking under a table.
You know, I look around, I see the whole room is shaking. It's not stopping, and the longer it kept going and the stronger it got, I definitely started freaking out.
After we evacuated the 6th floor, an aftershock hit and set off all the metal detectors downstairs. The courthouse was built with that kind of seismic shaking in mind. Architects from McCool Carlson Green designed the Nesbitt Courthouse, which opened in 1996.
It took quite a bit of time and a lot of experts and a lot of conversation to develop a strategy that everyone believed would be an effective construction strategy for that site.
It's going to be heading right over you guys' heads, so.
Moving day for Dale Marshall means heavy lifting.
I know this is definitely the most stressful part, just getting them loaded, making sure they're intact, driving out there.
He's been growing giant gourds in his greenhouse in Anchorage for more than a decade. 3 big ones are headed to the Way Off at the State Fair, including this substantial squash.
198 inches around, that's 16'6". I had to go buy a 25-foot rope because my other rope was only 16 feet. That's not enough to tie a knot.
This is the widest and weirdest shaped pumpkin he's ever had.
So that means the stem is underneath it, probably right there, totally underground. It's like a big beanbag pancake one. And that's why it's hard to guesstimate the weight, because it's really hard to get an accurate measurement. I don't know how much is under, how much caved up, you know.
Getting this behemoth out of the greenhouse and onto the flatbed takes a little bit of remodeling.
A window!
Everything is riding on the underside of the pumpkin that's been hidden since the veggie sprouted in May. Dale is hoping he won't find any disqualifying holes.
You know, on the bottom is a heck of a lot more flatter than I thought it was.
Yeah, there's just one tiny little concave.
Right here. Bye-bye. The rule is 1 inch. We just got to whack off this other one. So, after seeing that, I'm feeling a lot better.
It's a slow and careful process to lift out the oversized oval and set it safely on the truck.
And we're going to at least have a pumpkin to the fair for sure.
Here comes the champ!
The pumpkin is quite a sight for spectators at the Alaska State Fair.
Holy cow, that is the kind of thing that gives you goosebumps.
Dale is optimistic he could have a record breaker on his hands.
That's how solid it is. It doesn't have much of a seed cavity, so it's going to be dense.
His second largest tips the scale at more than 900 pounds. Now it's time for the big one.
Not nervous, anxious.
The judges give it the all clear to head to the scale, where it beats the Alaska state record by 2.5 pounds.
That's closer than I like, though.
Dale is happy all of his dedication throughout the summer has paid off.
You got to work on it daily, a ton of time in pruning and stuff. So basically, it's dedication.
The motto for the Pumpkin Way Off is go heavy, and that's exactly what Dale did. Andrew was one of the people assigned to search the beach and an area of town known as Tent City. While the entire community is out looking, Andrew has a family tie. Ashley is his niece.
She's very outgoing. I mean, she's always happy and stuff like that.
And then we're just going to span out this way.
About 50 people split into teams on Monday. One crew scoured the empty fish camps, while others took on the dense brush.
Since the willows are real thick, kind of duck down and can see a lot better ground coverage under the thick brush.
Teams on four-wheelers search the outskirts and tundra. Every day Ashley stays missing, the search area expands.
It is physically tiring, but I think more emotionally draining, and can get a little defeating because there are just so many places to look.
It's a massive community effort to try to bring a little girl home to her family. Erica says the early summer spruce tips are a sign of the abundant harvest yet to come.
Living in rural Alaska and having access to fresh produce don't really go hand in hand. So being able to forage and harvest foods like nettles and goose tongue and fiddleheads and mushrooms, it's just like, it's such a privilege to be able to find all of these foods for free.
As much as she loves life in this small coastal town, Erica's time in Cordova is coming to an end. Her husband is being transferred to a Coast Guard station in Oregon. For Erica, it brings an opportunity to find new foods in a new place.
Foraging for wild food just helps us connect and ties us to the land, really in a way that not much else can. Everybody's always trying to find a way home. When I go foraging, I feel like I'm coming home.
In their soon-to-be packed-up kitchen, Erica and her 3-year-old daughter Hazel whip up a final batch of cookies.
I just use about 1/2 cup of spruce tips to a regular shortbread recipe.
She says spruce tips can be added to any recipe that calls for a citrus zest.
Look at those pretty spruce tips in that butter. Okay, so we're gonna can you set it down again, please, and turn it on real slow? Just one more. Just one more, okay. Okay, that's a wad of butter. Oh. You are drooling butter and spruce tips out of your mouth.
The shortbread provides a sweet vessel to showcase the woodsy flavor of the greens.
Spruce tips.
A taste of Alaska, Erica will carry to the Oregon coast.
Going to a new place and finding the wild foods there helps me start to feel more settled and more grounded. Like it's my place. So I hope I can do that pretty fast.
The cookies are a hit with little Hazel and her brother Fisher. For Erica's family, life is about savoring the flavors around you.
It tastes like spruce tips.
No matter where you call home. Commuters may only see him for a split second. But every spring, Anthony Schmidt will spend a good portion of his day along the park's highway.
When it gets nicer, I'll be out here 8, 9, 10 hours.
He's made it his mission to clean up the mess others have left behind.
Oh, it's such a beautiful state. I mean, look at this view. And when you come down this hill from coming out of Wasilla, you see Snake Glacier and all the mountains, and then you look down and you see all this trash in the ditch.
Volunteering to pick up trash is basically his full-time job now.
I used to own Triple D Farm and Hatchery, a poultry business. I used to ship baby chicks all over the state. The economy killed me and left me in a mountain of debt, and shortly after that my health went south.
It was his diagnosis of diabetes and a doctor's orders to exercise that led him to the litter.
So when I started walking, I started thinking, well, I'm walking, I might as well pick this crap up.
He started small, but now cleans up the 5-mile stretch from the Seward Meridian Parkway to the Glen Interchange.
We say we found everything in the ditch except a gun or a body.